Hello everyone, it is Monday, and that means it's time for another draft video. We're not doing Ixalan for the next 2 weeks, in other words, the next 4 drafts. Instead, we're going to be doing Iconic Masters, which is obviously the Masters set that's out right now. These sets are always a lot of fun for Limited. The archetypes are always very clearly delineated. The power level of the cards is incredibly high. It's just very different than your average Limited format, and they're fun to play. A few of, obviously it's a little more expensive and so on, so you don't do it as much. But I'm pretty excited to be doing them. I'm also in a pretty good mood because I've completed the rough draft of my dissertation for my PhD, and it's about Thanksgiving time, and I can relax for this week, which is going to be nice before I spend about 4 months editing. So yeah, I'll see you guys when this draft fires. All right. Well, now I'm wishing this wasn't a phantom draft. I'm doing phantom drafts because this set unfortunately has a lower expected value basically than most of these do. There aren't a lot of great cards you can take that are worth a lot of money. Primeval Titan's one of them though. So of course we opened it. The good news is it's also excellent and limited. It's just a huge creature, searches up lands for you. He's the kind of creature that can make sure if you have some fixing, he makes your fixing even better. You can search up non-basics. There aren't a lot of worthy non-basics in this set, though, as I recall. But we definitely take a Titan. It's a great card. If the bomb were not here, what would I take? Well, honestly, this pack's pretty weak, especially for a Masters set other than him. I would be kind of tempted to take Angelic Accord and force the life gain deck. As I mentioned, synergy's big here, and this is a huge payoff for the life gain deck. If you can be making 4/4s every other turn, it's pretty great. Bogbrew Witch is a fun little card you can force if you really want to. Might not go that well, but yeah, we definitely take the Titan here. Primeval Titan. We do have the bounce lands in this set, but for some reason they didn't include Amulet of Vigor, so we're not going to be able to pull off the that combo. Here's one of those bounce lands, and actually a non-basics that's pretty good. This wouldn't have gotten passed to me in a non-phantom draft because it is worth about 6 tickets, just like Primeval Titan is. So Golgari Rot Farm's good. These lands are always underrated. They basically give you a form of card advantage. I mentioned that in my set review. Well, I didn't do a full set review, but my discussion of this format, because it's one land that produces 2 mana. And that doesn't sound like a lot, especially because it makes you tap a land. But when you have 4 mana or 5 mana with 4 lands in play, it's almost equivalent to having an extra card. We're taking Swords to Plowshares, though. It's just a very good removal spell, probably the best in this format. And on Twitter I've complained a little bit about how this set doesn't actually feel iconic, but the first 2 cards we've taken are certainly iconic ones. So that's cool. And then we have this pack. Well, we have 2 of the gold signpost uncommons. Blue-green is all about defenders, and black-green is all about +1/+1 counters. So those are sort of worth looking at. This one's very powerful if you can get there on +1/+1 counters. I'm kind of leaning towards just taking Mind Stone, though. It's just a mana rock, but one you can cash in later. Ramping is very possible in this format. There's a lot of mana rocks. There's a couple good green cards here in Timberland Guide and Nantuko Shaman. Heat Ray is not bad if we were in red, and we could be. We're not really committed anywhere, but I think I'm just going to take a mana rock here. I mean, we have Primeval Titan. We just want to play Primeval Titan as quickly as possible, right? Mind Stone also, I mean, as far as mana rocks go, I feel like it's sort of iconic just because it's an EDH staple. So it's close. It's close to iconic. Now there's Bladewing the Risen, who wants you to draft a black-red talking's hard. A black-red dragon deck, but we're not going to do that. Here's a Mana Dork, but it's not one I like as much. It's too easy to kill. A mana card, I should say. What do we have here? Well, we've got Timberland Guide and Sultai Flare. In terms of white cards, we have a couple just like medium 4-drop guys who are nothing special. I think Timberland Guide's probably better. It's going to make me wish I'd taken that, what's his name? The Corpse Jack Menace, but I think I'm just going to take the guide. The Flare's fine. There's just not a lot of power in this pack. So, yeah, we'll take the guide. Draconic Roar. It's a good removal spell if you got some dragons. I mean, even without dragons, it's pretty good, but it's best if you have dragons. So, if we want to push +1/+1 counters, we could start taking more cards that make them. Like Rakdos Drake. The thing is, Timberland Guide's good, like in any deck. This is it's okay in any deck, but I think Timberland Guide's probably better. Although these sorts of formats are definitely formats where like your curve actually matters a little bit less. There's usually one deck that's really aggressive, sort of the Fun Police deck in these formats, but you don't really need 2-drops as desperately as you normally would. We could take Draconic Roar instead and see. Yeah, let's take Draconic Roar. It is a removal spell at least. Okay. Okay, and there's a Stagger Shock here, which is also a pretty good removal spell. Dragon Lord Servant, Dragon Tempest. Whoever took that Bleedwing the Risen is going to be in good shape. Lead the Stampede's a fun little card advantage engine, and it's not always gonna turn out great for you, but Stagger Shock it is, I guess. Yep. Okay, there's a Boros Garrison, and that is a pretty late one. We also have a late Seeker of the Way, late Blinding Mage, and that is interesting to me. Another Sultai Flare, but Seeker of the Way and Blinding Mage are both better than Sultai Flare. The question is Boros Garrison just going to be better? We already want to play Swords to Plowshares, and I mentioned how good these lands are, and while I think Blinding Mage and Seeker of the Way are quite good, I'm not convinced that white's going to be a primary color of mine, and these are just so good that I think we're just going to take one. Take a dual land. Interesting. So we're not really, like, trying to stay green is not going so well, which is a little frustrating. Because here's a really good red aggressive card. Here's a good blue card that works well with spells. There's a Mahamati Djinn, which is just like a nice late finisher. We do have a Mind Stone. Day of the Dragons, I think, is sort of a silly card, but I don't think it's going to be that good in limited. I'm just going to go for the power here. I'm going to take a Mahamati Djinn. I mean, it's an uncommon. This is a downshifted one, of course. It used to be rare and one of the better creatures in all of Magic in its early days, but obviously it's not so great these days, but it's good and limited. Obviously in Constructed, it's nothing to be excited about, but I'm not sure what lane we should be in. But hopefully we figure that out soon. That's the good thing about like this Garrison. I'll probably play in like any deck, basically. Same is true of Mind Stone. The rest of the stuff, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope we avoid train wrecking, and I hope we get to play our Titan. Okay, well that Angelic Accord came back, which is interesting. We don't currently have anything going on that gains us life is the problem. If we did, I'd think about it. Swords to Plowshares, I guess, can, but we don't want to use it that way. But this pack otherwise is pretty underwhelming. I mean, maybe I'll take a Guard Duty. If we end up in a spell-heavy deck, the fact that this triggers Prowess is nice. It stops a big attacker from being able to attack me. Yeah, I guess I'll take Guard Duty. Should I have taken the life gain payoff? Maybe, but our deck would have to completely transform, which I guess isn't impossible. Okay, well, interesting. So, Thrillkill Assassin can trade with anything, and if you want it to, or it can be a 2/3 if you unleash it. This likes spells, and we currently are getting them. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and take him. Elusive Spellfist is sort of in the same category, and maybe it's a little better. Let's take it. The fact that it can become unblockable is great. Well, this Corpsejack Menace coming back. Being disciplined is hard, man. It's hard because that being here means +1/+1 counters are pretty open, and it makes your +1/+1 counter deck insane, and I'm just going to take it. It's just going to happen. I'm going to try to make black-green happen. We weren't giving up a lot in that pack, honestly. This thing just, like, even Timberland Guide gets to be nuts with it. Okay, so here we can take another card that likes spells, and this one actually gains us life as well. Or just, I guess we'll take the card that cares about spells. And there's another card that cares about spells. And another one. So, there's a lot of things that actually seem pretty open. We kind of bounced all over the place. I think we may just splash white for Swords to Plowshares. And we're either a blue-red spells matter deck or a black-green +1/+1 counter deck. Oh, Genesis Hydra. Interesting. That likes counters, and it's insane to ramp into. Right now, we don't have a ton of ramp, but I would start prioritizing it with Genesis Hydra. Blinding Mage, again, is very good. I think we take the Hydra and try to get there on these +1/+1 counters. Primeval Titan helps us get there. Like, we play the Titan, we're at 8 mana. We attack with the Titan, we're at 10 mana, and then we play Genesis Hydra. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. It does. Knight of the Reliquary. Interesting. I don't really think that's what we want, but it does search our library for lands, so it does provide some fixing, but it's also a green-white card. And there aren't any lands with 2 types in this format that would make it even better. There's a Kiln Fiend. We need to really pick a lane. Are we a spells deck, or are we a black-green +1/+1 counters deck? That's the question here. Could just take a Simic Growth Chamber. You know, these lands are just good no matter what. Yeah, I think that is just what I'm going to do. Carven Caryatid, Ivy Elemental. You know, Ivy Elemental can be insane with Corpsejack Menace, but I only have 1. Of course, this one did wheel. Gives us another X spell. Maybe we'll get Roshin Meanderer. No, I'm going to take the Growth Chamber. Growth Chamber it is. Ooh, we did get Roshin Meanderer. Okay, well, we're taking that. It'll work well with Genesis Hydra. And, you know, we can play it in a green deck or a red deck. Probably going to be a green deck. There are 2 Star Compasses here, which also ramp us, but I'm going to take the Meanderer. And I think I'm finally going to commit to something here. I think I'm going to say we are mostly a black, green ramp deck. Ramp and +1/+1 counter. So Phantom Tiger is good with +1/+1 counters. It's also a Selesnya Sanctuary, which will also help us splash. Wing Shards is okay, but I don't think we're going to primarily be white. I'm just going to take another one of these. I mean, if you get enough of these, you can start playing just like cards of any color, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Doesn't mean we're not really going to be a synergistic deck. We may just be a deck that's just like playing a bunch of random power cards, but, you know, we've already got 2 of those, you know, in the bank here, so we're off to a good start in that category. So we can easily splash swords now because we have 2 of these, and Primeval Titan can search one of them up if need be. So yeah, I mean, once you get a certain number of these, you can even start cutting lands because they don't quite count as 2 lands, but maybe 1 1/4 lands each, something like that. So probably just Dread Reveler. It's going to work well with our nonsense. There's also another Mind Stone though, which we could think about, but we are going to have to play some creatures. Yeah, I'm going to take the Reveler here. No, I'm not. I'm going to take the Mind Stone. Who am I kidding? We're going to ramp. I think if there's not ramp in a pack, I'll take something else. But if there's ramp, I think we just kind of want it. Like here, we'll probably take Phantom Tiger. I really want to get another Corpsejack Menace in an ideal world. X spells are a thing for us because of Roshin Meanderer. That's worth thinking about. But I'm just going to take a Phantom Tiger here. We waffled a lot in this draft, but the good news is power level's super high in these sets. And splashing, you know, maybe Stagger Shock or Draconic Roar isn't really out of the question. Okay, now I think I take like a Rakdos Drake, just a dude who likes counters and can attack in the air. Driftwood Baloth's not bad, but I think I'm going to take a Drake here. Start pushing +1/+1 counters and see if we can get some more synergies for that in addition to our Corpsejack Menace. The nice thing about this card is, like, you know, sure, if I don't have Genesis Hydra, it's not going to do anything nuts, but it's also just a 4-mana 4/4, which even in a format like this one is quite large, and that's also true of Corpsejack Menace. So the funny thing is we haven't really actually taken that many black cards at this point. So we could still turn into a different deck, but I feel like we're getting the pieces to this one the most effectively. We're getting ramp, we're getting You know, we're sort of a ramp deck, but also a +1/+1 counter deck, and I think I'm okay with that. Lord of the Pit. No, I don't think I want that. This card's nuts, and can we splash it right now? Not really. We just have a Simic Growth Chamber. But like flashing this in, killing something, and then drawing 3 cards isn't really an impossible thing to do, and that is pretty powerful. There's a white of Precinct 6, but I think that's better in a deck that can actually mill people. Oh, it doesn't get +1/+1 counters anyway. I think I am going to take this Ambusher and see if we can splash it. I'm just going to take a boring Greater Basilisk here, I think. Wrench Mind, yeah, I mean, we're just going to take the Basilisk. It's a fine card. Wow. This really tempts me to go back into red when a Kiln Fiend comes all the way back like that. I'm doing a bad job of picking my lane here. Just so many things seem open. I think I'm just going to take the Caryatid here. And a dude to ramp into? Yeah, I guess we'll take another one of those. We definitely want some more ramp. We're going to take another Phantom Tiger. Fury Charm, I guess, can be a sideboard card for the artifacts that are around. Yeah, our deck's kind of all over the place, but we have, you know, looks like fun. And that's what you really want. So Moonglove Extract or something that can kill dragons. I'll take the thing that can kill dragons, I guess. So yeah, we've got Duskdale Worm and Genesis Hydra way over here. We just have such a wide curve, you know, that you can't actually see it all. Earth Elemental, huh? It's not like a terrible card. I guess we can move these lands over here so you guys can actually see more of what's going on. Curse of Predation. That is interesting. It starts putting +1/+1 counters on all my dudes, which is nice. We have 2 lands that produce white, so a card like Abzan Battle Priest isn't a bad choice. We could try to splash it. It would give our guys with +1/+1 counters lifelink, and it can put counters on itself as well. I don't think I take the Basilica here, as much as I like those lands. Is Curse of Predation? I mean, you know, it sort of feels like an enchantment that doesn't affect the board immediately, but it really does if you have creatures. And I think if we're trying to do +1/+1 counters, we're going to dig it, because you play it, you attack your opponent, your guys get bigger. Wow, Supreme Verdict. Wish I could find a way to splash that nonsense. Okay, well, we've got a Reeve Soul here and a Rotfeaster Maggot. It's a nice name. Yeah, I'm going to take the Reeve Soul for sure. We could use some early removal. We haven't actually taken that many black cards. It's one of our first. Ooh, Viscopa Guildmage. We're not really a lifelink deck. Okay, we can take another Reeve Soul or a Rakdos Drake. I think those are our choices. Netcaster Spider's fine, but I think I'd rather have a card that has some +1/+1 counter things going on. So I'm going to take the Drake. I definitely want another Corpsejack Menace. What I really want to do is play Corpsejack Menace and then Genesis Hydra with Roshin Meander in play. That's going to be our attempt at doing something sweet. Hoping I don't have to play this, and I'm only going to play this if I can splash it. Everything else I feel fine about, though. There's another Abzan Battle Priest. There's also a Mannequin who can help us ramp, as well as Search for Tomorrow, which can help us fix. There's also a Merrick Nightblade, though, who we don't have to have any splashing for and would give all of our +1/+1 counter guys Death Touch. I think I'm going to take the Nightblade here. I like Mannequin, I like Search for Tomorrow, but I think we got to take the +1/+1 counter payoffs when we see them. And taking the one that's actually like in our color, our definite color, instead of the white one, which we may or may not play, I think is better. Golgari Rot Farm? I think so. Yeah, we've got a lot of these lands, which is good news. There's an Evolving Wild, which can help us splash. Yeah. I think we take it. We have a ton of fixing, but like, what else are we going to take from this pack? I mean, this is an okay trick. But yeah, I'm going to take Evolving Wilds. We can almost play anything now. Like, if we see a card that we want to try to splash, we can probably make it happen. Wouldn't mind a little more ramp, but if I don't get more, I may have to cut the worm. Put him over here for now. But yeah, we have Simic Growth Chamber, Evolving Wilds, Golgari Rot Farm, Selesnya Sanctuary, and Boros Garrison. Now, what can happen is if you draw two of them, two of those things at the same time is bad news, so we don't want that to happen. So, do we want a Dirkwood Baloth or a Netcaster Spider? I'm leaning towards the Spider. We could also think about Splatter Thug. It does have +1/+1 counter stuff going on, but yeah, I'm going to take the Spider. So, in +1/+1 counter-wise, we have Timberland Guide, Phantom Tiger, Curse of Predation, Netcaster Spider, Rakdos Drake, Corpse Jack Menace. Oh, there's the second one we wanted. Now I feel even better about all these things. Yeah, I'll take an Nantuko Shaman. When you can suspend it, it's pretty nice. I mean, you're not always going to be able to. And the good news is when you can't, it's still a 3-mana 3/2, which is reasonable. Okay, now we want Ivy Elemental, I think. Between Roshin Meanderer and both 2 Corpse Jack Menaces, we want Ivy Elemental all day. That Supreme Verdict going all the way around is insane. I said we could play anything, but unfortunately, I don't think we can swing double white, blue. We can play a lot of things, but we can't quite play that. So lead the Stampede. So it lets me draw some cards. We don't have anything going on in the early game, by the way, but I don't think that's a huge issue. We're going to end up getting run over by the one aggressive deck. It's like super fast deck in this format. Yeah, I guess I'll take Lead the Stampede. I will take another Phantom Tiger, or do I want Search for Tomorrow? Makes my mana better, but like Phantom Tiger plus Corpse Jack Menace is like a dream, so I'm just going to take another one. Yeah. You know, I probably should have taken both of those green ramp spells. I kind of forgot we have a little bit of a ramp thing going on up top here, but so that's kind of a mistake on my part. I think we should have taken the ramp when we saw it. But I think I like what we ended up with. You know, we've got Corpse Jack Menaces and Curse of Predation, which will be insane. This with a bunch of our cards is just insane. Ivy Elemental and Genesis Hydra are going to be awesome. We only have 1 2-drop creature, so turn 3 is when we really start rolling. I think we can afford to splash Illusory Ambusher. And I think we just play all of these lands. Yeah, we just play. Oh, we don't have to play this one. We don't have anything. Oh no, yeah, we do. This lets us splash the Ambusher, which I think we want to do. I like that card a lot. Is there anything else we want to splash? No, I don't think so. Definitely should have taken those Search for Tomorrows when I had the chance, but I like what we have here. I mean, this is, you know, I'm not excited about having Carven Caryatid in my deck, but it you know, it'll block and draw me a card, which doesn't hurt. And we have no early game, but like I mentioned, people are going to be trying to like cast haymakers here, and that's what we're trying to do too, mostly. I mean, we're trying to do crazy synergistic things with Corpse Jack Menace and all our cards that care about +1/+1 counters, or make them, or, you know, just cast a Primeval Titan or a Genesis Hydra, and we can do those things. All right, so yeah, we get to use cool lands in this format. I guess we'll sort by color. It's gonna look a little crazy though. Definitely more green than anything, which isn't a huge surprise. But I think our deck will be functional. 1 plains. Do I even? Yeah, I need to run 1 because of Evolving Wilds, basically. We definitely want more than 2 swamps, but we have Golgari Rot Farm and Evolving Wilds, both sources of black. But we also have 4 sources of green over here. So, we need another land too, because I can't count. So I think I go with another forest probably. Yeah. But yeah, I would, if I could go back, I would definitely take the ramp suspend card. But I like our deck. Looks fun. Definitely has some iconic cards in it, and it's definitely going to be able to do some silly things with the help of Corpse Jack Menace. So I'll see you guys in the first match. All right, we're going to the first match. By the way, I added an island in my deck and cut one forest. For those of you who are probably yelling at the screen, I realized I didn't have an island for my Evolving Wilds. This hand, though, we are going to mulligan. Our opponent did too. Makes an easier decision, but we only had one spell anyway. I mean, I think I keep this one. We definitely need to get some of our... Yeah, we don't want another forest, really. But we do have turn 2 Mind Stone, turn 3 Phantom Tiger, so it could be worse. So, we're about to see if my theory, or statement anyway, that not needing to have a curve is kind of true in this format. Our opponent may be about to just like run us over with an aggro deck. A turn 1 Infantry Veteran certainly indicates that that's a possibility. And then a turn 2 Anak Bondkin. So that's not so good for us. We're going to play our Mind Stone now. The only good news is Phantom Tiger can pretty effectively... Well, if this has first strike, he can't, but... He's basically a 3-mana 3-2 who blocks once and becomes a 2-1 and then can block again and dies. And he doesn't take any damage from the first block. Obviously, if I can get some +1/+1 counter stuff going, it's even better. Opponent is going to do that. I really wish... I wouldn't mind drawing black here for Reeve's Soul, because if we let this guy get out of hand, we are going to be pretty sad. Well, there's Primeval Titan. Yeah, we're definitely just going to play Phantom Tiger. I can still actually block this. Oh, no, I can't because of Infantry Veteran. So opponent's probably green-white +1/+1 counters, as opposed to our black-green build. Stupid Infantry Veteran. Might still be worth the block. Make it a 4/3 first strike. I still have a 2/1 in play that can block. No, it's probably not worth it. So my opponent, this can only do it with attacking creatures. So if I draw black mana, I can still Reeve's Soul, which is nice. So we're going to take 4 here. That is not black mana. Question is, I think maybe I'm just going to cash in this Mind Stone. Yeah, I'm going to, because we are desperate for black. That is not black. We'll play a Boros Garrison. And then, yeah, I think we'll just do our turn. This time I think we kind of have to block. We'll be at 5 mana next turn, just close to Primeval Titan, which will get us black mana. So, that's good. Ooh, double Infantry Veteran. That's going to be fun. Okay, I think I'm just going to block it this time. I mean, we're just trying to buy ourselves time. My creature won't die. It'll just get smaller after this first block. Yeah, so let's do a 2/1 now. Stalwart Haven. Okay, well, there's our other Mind Stone. So, we're going to tap this. We're going to play Mind Stone. And we're also going to play Curse of Predation, but it's not going to be that good right now. At all. I mean, I could attack and then take 3, 4, 5, 6 on the backswing. This will become a 3/2 when it attacks. I'm just going to attack. My opponent's not going to have any good blocks for it. So we're also finding out whether or not our mana is good enough. I think it's actually fine. I think we'll see that going forward, even though it hasn't gone really well for us this game. But next turn we can play Primeval Titan. He's going to get us all the mana that we need. Assuming we're not dead. So, you know, that is it's an assumption. So Stalwart Aven's going to get a counter and get first strike. Because of Enoch Bondkin. Enoch Bondkin is probably what I would have killed if I drew black mana right there. Blue mana is out, so we're about to find out if our opponent has some way of countering our Primeval Titan. Alright, so I'm gonna grab if I grab Evolving Wilds, I can thin out my deck. I could also grab some of these bounce lands, but definitely grabbing a swamp. And yeah, I think I'll grab Evolving Wilds. Okay, and we'll just end our turn. Because now we really only have to worry about this guy in the air. Of course, he can hit us for 4, but we should be able to Reave Soul it next turn. So we'll just have to see. Primeval Titan may get us back in the game. I guess maybe getting 2 swamps would have been better because I could have played 2 black things. Probably should have thought about that. No attacks. He wants to take down my Titan, I think, which I'm cool with. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna Reave Soul this guy right away. So that's good news. And so 2, 3, 4. My opponent only has 5 power to try to stop my Titan now. So he's also going to get a counter. Yeah, let's attack. So he becomes a 7/7. Now I think maybe we just get some bounce lands. Return these 2 to our hand. Maybe 1 bounce land anyway. So yeah, we'll get a... We don't have our blue mana yet, so I'm going to get Simic Growth Chamber and, yeah, just another swamp. And we'll return the swamp. They're just going to take it, which I am happy to let them do. Oh, maybe not. Oh, Wing Shards. That's sad. Now we're in trouble again. Things were looking okay. Yeah, so goodbye, Primeval Titan. Now, my opponent can hit me for 4 in the air. I think I'm just going to suspend Nantuko Shaman here. I can actually play a Rakdos Drake and Nantuko Shaman, though. Yeah. So I'm just going to play a Rakdos Drake as a blocker, basically. We're not going to unleash it. And suspend Nantuko Shaman and end our turn. So we'll get to draw a card when it comes into play next turn. I'm kind of willing to take this once. Am I? I think we can take it this time. It's a little crazy, but that's what I'm going to do. Mostly because I want to attack with this one. No, it's not going to matter if I do that, actually. We have all the lands. Where's our Genesis Hydra? Yeah, that's not good news. That is not good news. All right, so we're going to sacrifice this. We're going to get... Doesn't really matter. Let's get another swamp. We're going to get Nantuko Shaman and draw an extra card. Okay. I'm going to draw another extra card, I guess. So that Blinding Mage is kind of a problem, obviously. Yeah, I'm just going to play this Caryatid. See what we draw for that. Swamp. Okay. We have to play the second flyer or we're just dead to Blinding Mage, so... I think I'm going to cash in this Mind Stone first, though. Yeah. There is Corpsejack Menace. It's about time. Feels a little late, but... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have the mana to do it all. So I guess we will. Yeah. So we're going to play Corpsejack Menace. I'm going to leave that black there. If I play as many dudes as possible, it's not going to be that easy for opponent to kill us. Do I unleash this one? No. Unfortunately. It would have gotten 2 counters if I had. I think I am going to attack with this Phantom Tiger, though. We have enough blockers that I think we can afford to do that. It's going to become a 5... 4? Yeah. Yes, it is. And so when we attack, all our creatures are going to get 2 +1/+1 counters now. So that's good. Our opponent getting a spirit there is not so good. So we can tap down 1 flyer, but the other one will still be able to block. Yeah, sure. I think we just block the Stalwart Haven. We're willing to take 3 from the other one. So our opponent's creatures are all tapped, and this is 6, 11, 12. Okay, so this is going to become a 6/6. This is going to become a 5 power, so 11. My opponent might just be dead. Yeah, they are. Curse of Predation plus Corpsejack Menace snagged us a win there in the end. We were getting beat basically the whole game, but all that card drawing we did, coupled with, you know, the amazing combo of Corpsejack plus Curse of Predation, worked out pretty well. We saw a few creatures with flying, that's for sure, so it's worth keeping that one in mind. Worth keeping that one in mind. I wish I could splash this guy. I could put this in, but I don't think we really want that. We did have so much mana there. If we'd played Ivy Elemental, it would have been like a, I don't know, 30-30. That would have been fun. Genesis Hydra would have been the most fun, though. But yeah, I don't think we change anything. I definitely can keep an eye out for wanting to play, not Praise Vengeance, but Aerial Predation. That is for sure. We just got to get Corpse Jack Menace. I mean, Primeval Titan created problems for opponent too in the long run. Hey, we got like all our colors. We have Primeval Titan again. We actually don't have blue for Illusory Ambusher, but I think this is still a keep. Opponent's going to have another turn 1 Vanguard or Veteran. That's what it's called. Okay. Wouldn't mind drawing more green mana, because otherwise we do not have an early play, other than Ivy Elemental, which might be worth it. Obviously, I'd rather combo it with some of our silly combo stuff, but, you know, what are you going to do? Yeah, this looks very familiar. That is for sure. Well, we can play Corpse Jack Menace now next turn. So that's not too bad, especially because we can go Corpse Jack Menace, Ivy Elemental. And the Ivy Elemental will be a 6/6 if we're allowed to do that. Well, we're going to take at least one here. Our opponent may just Outlast again, which I'm fine with. Yeah, they're going to Outlast. Does make this incredibly difficult to block effectively, that's for sure. Okay. And 4 for Corpse Jack Menace. So yeah, we can play Ivy Elemental as a 6/6 next turn. If we draw a land, it'll be an 8/8. If Corpse Jack Menace still lives. I mean, obviously the ideal thing would be able to get this Titan in play first and to get to search up like 4 lands and then do it. I mean, but that's not going to happen. So our opponent's just going to try to Outlast us here. Did not draw a land. I still think we probably do just play Ivy Elemental. And I'm going to do it now just to be safe. In case our opponent kills our Corpse Jack Menace in combat. He doesn't have 3 mana for Wing Shards, so that's good news. All right, we get in for the 4. More green mana would really help us, since all our cards in our hand are green. And we don't have the blue for the Ambusher, who would be pretty good. Although, not that good against Zainok Bondkin. Is the opponent going to try to race us now? No. Okay, there's the other green mana I wanted. Puts us at 5. So, I can play a Caryatid, or I can suspend Dirkwood Baloth and play Netcast Spider. I do think I'm going to attack with this Ivy Elemental. Sort of playing around Wing Shards here. Yeah. Hold on to the Corpse Jack Menace, because obviously he's crucial to a lot of our strategies, but we'll just attack with Ivy Elemental and see what our opponent does. He's going to take it. Sounds good to me. Maybe not. Wing Shards. Yeah. They keep waiting to do it just in case I like play a trick or something. It's probably just going to be better to just cast this Baloth, as unexciting as that is. So I think I'm going to play the Caryatid here. My 1/2 drop costs green. Oh, I have to tap both green though. If I draw Reeve Soul, I can cast it, I guess. So yeah, we'll play the Caryatid here. Draw a card. Hey, Curse of Predation. That's pretty good when you have a Corpse Jack Menace. If you don't remember. I mean, definitely if I draw land, I just play Primeval Titan. I mean, that's, I think, fairly obvious. And then on the next turn, I can cast Curse of Predation and attack with an 8/8 Primeval Titan. So that seems pretty good. I'm just going to take 4 if my opponent chose to attack there. I would have just taken 4, yeah. Okay, so is our opponent just going to counter Primeval Titan? That is the question. Should I just try to play the Baloth instead? We haven't seen counter magic out of our opponent is the thing. I want to play the Titan. I can get the blue that I need for my ambusher. So even if they kill it, I'm going to get a lot of value. So yeah, I'm just going to play it. If they have counter magic, we're in trouble, but they don't. So I think I'm going to grab a Simic Growth Chamber and like a forest. Sure. And we're going to return this swamp to my hand. And we'll end our turn. So next turn we can play Curse of Predation. There it is. Curse of Predation and attack with an 8/8 Primeval Titan who will search us up lands. And then probably also play Dirkwood Baloth and all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah. Corpsejack Menace is ridiculous, basically. There's a reason it was rare the first time it was printed, because it makes your... I mean, we didn't even get to do any +1/+1 counter shenanigans. I guess playing the Ivy Elemental was shenanigans, but not as crazy as what we did in our first game, where we stabilized at 1 and just won the game because of Curse of Predation plus Corpsejack. So we'll see if we can win the next one, too. See you then. Okay, I think this is a keep. We, of course, only have one color, but we can play a lot of stuff in our hand with one color, and we have a turn 2 Mind Stone as well. So if we draw black, we can play turn 3 Corpsejack, potentially. Okay, that's scary. We do have Boros Garrison now. But yeah, Serra Ascendant is scary in a deck that can like legit take advantage of it. Netcaster Spider is the good news here. It can... Oh. Thanks, Alarm. I'm already awake. There's a Rot Farm now. Where's the Amulet of Vigor when you need it, you know? I think we just play the Rot Farm. Gives us the black that we want. Next turn we can play Netcaster Spider and then Corpsejack and then Curse of Predation. That's the dream anyway. So yeah, we'll play a Rot Farm here. And we're going to return a forest to our hand. That does mean we have to discard something, and I think we discard an extra forest. We're not going to have time. I don't think in this game we want to play Boros Garrison yet. We will eventually, someday or another. Oh yeah, Radiant Fountain is gross when your deck actually gains life. We got to stop this from owning us. So let's try to by playing Dude with Reach. My opponent has a kill spell. I'm going to be very sad though. Not a kill spell, so that I feel pretty good about. All right, we stopped the shenanigans. God, we got all of these lands, which is usually not a bad thing, but I don't really want them right this second. I just want to play Corpsejack Menace. And in my turn. So the bad news is he can gain life and get to the point where Serra Ascendant will be the ridiculous creature that it can be. So what we really need is our Swords to Plowshares. That's what we really want to have happen here. Oh, Reef Souls. Not good. Okay. Gotta hope our opponent doesn't have a turn 1 Serra Ascendant next game. We're definitely bringing in our kill a flying creature thing. Yeah, he's gonna get there on the crazy amount of life, unfortunately for us. Okay. Now I think I play Curse of Predation. I'm gonna play Selesnya Sanctuary and bounce a land, which will be a forest. Yeah, obviously. And I'm also gonna just suspend Dirkwood Baloth while I can do that. Do I want to do that? Would I rather just cast it next turn? Yeah, probably. A lot of those suspenders, that's funny. A lot of this creatures with suspend really aren't that good unless you're suspending them on turn 1. I mean, it's fine when you're not. That's why this is worth playing. Let's see if we get a Swords to Plowshares here. Nope. We just get a 6/6. Right? Opponent blocks. Yeah, they're just trying to get to Serra Ascendant being insane, which they're one spell away from that happening. I feel bad like not using my mana, but just playing another dude is going to be strong here. So they have to play a non-creature spell and then they get to 30. Didn't happen. Okay, yeah, now it's gonna happen though. Okay. Probably just Baloth is gonna be better. So this isn't gonna be impossible to race. Probably. I mean, our creatures are going to get ridiculously large, so there's that. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna attack and let my opponent have a huge Serra Ascendant. I mean, we just aren't going to be able to beat it unless we keep inflicting damage on our opponent, which... So right here, it's going to be big, but after this turn, we can make it so our opponent has a very, very hard time staying at that high life total. So that is the plan. So we're going to play just a Dirkwood Baloth now, just a huge guy. And we're going to end our turn. So they're at high life right now. Can they stay at a very high life total? It does help them, but I can attack for 17 on my turn. I've got to play another blocker, and they do, unfortunately. Why don't you have flying? God. Okay, so... Right, so we're going to attack with both of these guys. I guess I may as well play Timberland Guide first. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to play Timberland Guide. I'm going to make you a 7/7. Spread the love a little here. And I'm going to attack with both of these. They're going to block both, obviously. And they do. I'm going to play Mind Stone and Evolving Wilds so that I can get the blue for my Ambusher. This is a silly race. You would never see this in a normal limited format. Like, interactions that are this powerful just don't happen, you know? That's what you want to happen in a Masters format. You want these crazy, crazy interactions. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, if we can't drop our opponent low enough here, we just lose. I'm going to sacrifice Evolving Wilds. Get an island. What we really want to do is hit Swords to Plowshares. So I'm also just going to sacrifice this Mind Stone. Get another Mind Stone. Phantom Tiger is not going to do it. We can play our second Mind Stone, though. We do not want to tap our only white mana for it. So we're going to play Mind Stone number 2. And we are going to sacrifice it. Come on, Swords to Plowshares. Oh. God, I would normally be so happy to draw a Genesis Tiger. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Hi, Genesis Tiger. Genesis Hydra. But, you know, let's make some crazy things happen here. Definitely bringing in our Kill a Flyer card. Our opponent's flyers were a menace, to say the least. Should I have just played Genesis Hydra? I guess it couldn't have hurt. Opponent goes down to 32. Let's just play Genesis Hydra. What the hell? Probably should have done it earlier, but... Yeah, we don't hit anything off of it anyway. So, yeah, we're dead. That was a silly, silly game. We were swinging for absurd amounts of damage, but our opponent was gaining absurd life. And we're definitely bringing in aerial predation. Maybe we cut something like the Caryatid. Our opponent's plan was very air-based. And so the Caryatid's not going to be quite as good here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. There's that Swords to Plowshares we could have used. Yeah, turn 1, that guy against a legit life gain deck is a frightening, frightening thing. I mean, it was huge very quickly. The only reason we had any chance is because we had Corpse Jack Menace plus Curse of Predation again. Otherwise, we would have just been toast. Okay, I think this one is not a keep. We have 1 land, so we could suspend the Baloth, and then if we draw another land, we can play Mind Stone, which means we'd get to 3 mana, but... Ooh, this one's not great, but I do think we basically have to keep it. That makes it better. Okay. So... yeah, I think we play the Rot Farm next. It's nice we can actually use your 1 green mana before you play your Rot Farm, but that's not going to happen for us. If I'd played differently, I could have flashed in this Illusory Ambusher, but I still don't think the additional damage would have mattered enough. It would have just been sort of like, okay. I think I'm just going to make Rakdos Drake big here. Unleash it. But this is going to be so hard to race. So that's frustrating. We are going to unleash it, but... our opponent's stupid life gain. Just don't play anything. Well, I think I just lose these 2 lands. I could lose Illusory Ambusher, actually. Yeah, let's lose Illusory Ambusher and a land. There's an Ivy Elemental, but yeah, we definitely just play Curse of Predation on our opponent. And we attack for 3. Play Selesnya Sanctuary and get back this forest. You can play this as a 4/4 next turn that can attack and become a 5/5. It's not too shabby. You can also actually block this, which, you know, that's some upside. There is a Reeve Soul. I'm not sure I want to use it right this second. I don't think I do. I think I'd rather just play an Ivy Elemental to slow our opponent down. What I really wish I had is a Corpse Jack Menace, but, you know, this will work. This is another card that was downshifted from rare, by the way. It doesn't really feel like a rare to us today. I mean, we had Endless one, which was obviously a lot stronger. It doesn't have the green, and you could play it in any deck, and it had a relevant creature type. But it's cool that they found a way. They printed it at common, and it's great in decks that have Roshin Meanderer or in decks that care about +1/+1 counters. We happen to be both, so that's pretty nice. Sanguine Bond. Okay, that's not the best news. So our opponent can... no, they can kind of attack, but it isn't really going to do anything. Okay, now I think we do play Reeve Soul on Student of Ojutai here. So our opponent can basically hit us for 4 a turn, but we're about to swing for 10. So... they're going to take 10. Okay, Angel of Mercy is going to do 3 to us. And then they can swing for 4. Basically. So I go down to 9. The land is not really what I wanted to draw there. But we're going to swing for 12. We are racing again, and it is a tight one. They might just be able to kill us. They can basically swing for 7 right now, and then if they gain any other life, we're dead. So maybe leaving back my Ivy Elemental. Although, yeah, maybe leaving back the Ivy Elemental to block the Child of Night would have been worth it. So if they can gain life in any way, if they can gain 2 life here, we're dead. In addition to Child of Night, I'm already calculating that in my damage. I'm taking 2 from Child of Night, 2 from Sanguine Bond, and 3 from Angel of Mercy right now. They're trying to figure out if they can kill me, I think. And I think they can. That takes me to 2. Yeah, I'm dead. Man, our opponent's life gain deck was legit. I mean, we put up a great fight doing insane amounts of damage, and it just didn't matter. We just, you know, the life they gained made it harder for us to kill them, and then they got freaking Sanguine Bond in play. So we are 1-1 now, but we're going to try to win the 3rd one. Okay, going into the final match, we're 1-1 in an Iconic Masters draft. I think we just suspend Dirkwood Baloth in turn 1. We also have our Swords to Plowshares, which means we probably want to get white more than anything. But we'll see. We don't need the mana. Need to figure that out right away. When you can suspend him on turn 1, it is pretty great that you're going to have a 5/5 with haste in a few turns. It's just like nice. Okay, now definitely playing Evolving Wilds. I just have to decide we have our blue card or our white card in our hand, which is a little frustrating. I should probably... I think getting the Plains is an okay plan. Yeah, that is a large Dread Reveler. Opponent is also +1/+1 counters. I think I'm going to get the Plains. I'm going to draw a Swamp at some point. And I need to be able to cast this Swords to Plowshares. So, yeah. And in the meantime, I can just cast a Phantom Tiger, which isn't terrible. Swings just as hard as this thing does. Don't play Corpse Jack Menace. Oh, we're going to have to kill that. As we've seen exactly how disgusting that card has been against us. Okay, there's our black mana. I knew we'd get it. So, yeah, we're just going to Swords this dude because, yeah. And I'm going to attack for 3. I think I just play another Phantom Tiger instead of the Rakdos Drake. Getting blue mana now would be pretty great because we can just flash this in, kill Dread Reveler, and draw 3 cards. Pretty hard to come back from that for our opponent, but we don't have blue mana, so it doesn't really matter. We will take 3. Hero's Bane. Don't be Hero's Bane. Ivy Elemental. Okay, that's a little more reasonable. Okay. Well then. Yeah, so we're gonna play Mind Stone. And then I think we play a Rakdos Drake. Question is, do we play it Unleashed? I think we do. Also going to play that land, and we're just going to end our turn. Probably going to just try to double block this Ivy Elemental with my 2 Tigers. They'll both survive. They'll both go down to 2-1, but they'll both survive. Oh, Corpse Jack Menace. Come on. I really want blue mana now. I mean, we definitely needed that swords, so I'm glad we got the plains, but... Okay, awesome. He's coming into play. He's like, sup, how's it going? Swamp. I think we're going to cash in this Mind Stone. That's the second time that's happened to us. It's very weird. Alright, so we're going to attack with Rakdos Drake and this 5/5. Alright, we're just going to get in for 7. And I think we play the other Mind Stone, and do we just cash it in right away? I think we probably do. Ooh. Hello. Get out of here. All right. Well, that feels pretty good. We have to keep in mind our opponent has Corpse Jack Menace in play, though, and can do some very disgusting things. Such as play a 10/10 Ivy Elemental, for example, you know. Opponent's deck is a lot like ours, which is cool. Problem is they drew their two Corpse Jack Menaces, and we haven't drawn ours. If we had them, we'd be in way better shape. These guys would just be like jacked. Gross. Like that. See? Man. I really need blue mana. Blue mana would do wonders for me. I think it would. I could flash in Illusory Ambusher and kill the smaller Ivy Elemental. Of course, I guess you're not going to attack with it. Do I block the giant Ivy Elemental? No, opponent's not going to make us make that choice. God. It's not what we're looking for. But we will attack for 2. And no, we won't. Merrick, Nightblade, and a Golgari Rot Farm. At least it wasn't blue mana. The Nightblade would have been pretty freaking great, though. Giving both of these guys Death Touch would have been awesome. Well, I'm kind of surprised my opponent's not being more aggressive. Like, yeah, I have 2 Phantom Tigers in play, but you have a Phantom Tiger too. Like, it's crazy. Like, maybe they're afraid of what I have in my hand, which is, in fact, nothing. Essentially nothing. There's our Corpse Jack Menace. A little late to the party, but we definitely could draw some things. Oh, I did not tap any green mana. Go me. There we go. And we'll end our turn. We want our Genesis Hydra probably most of all. I think. Timberland Guide. So I guess put 2 counters on something. Yeah, that's a 12/12 Ivy Elemental now. All right. Chump block time. It's not even a real chump block because he stays alive, which is nice. Pain is real. Yeah, I'm just gonna end our turn. This is definitely going to be a matchup of whoever gets Corpse Jack Menace first. Of course, we do also have our Primeval Titan plan. So, you know, if we can get him into play early, that'll also make a big difference. Feel like they have a kill spell and they're trying to decide what's best to kill, which is not good news for us if that's what's going on. No, it isn't. In fact, it's just bad news. So once I lose one Phantom Tiger, my opponent's going to be able to just like unleash hell, basically. But that is what we're going to do. Ooh. All right. Now we can keep treading water for a while at least. Got our own giant Phantom Tiger. Hilarious. In fact, I'm definitely considering triple blocking the Ivy Elemental. I could go 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 9, 10. You would kill everything. Well, you wouldn't be able to kill the 2 tigers. Well, I guess I'm just going to chunk block for now. I can choose to do that at a later time, should I choose to. Timberland Guide. I would put them on your tiger. Oh, you want your Corpse Jack Menace to be big. Well, you don't do anything with +1/+1 counters, but you are another dude. Ooh. Yeah, I thought they might have that when I was thinking about blocking, but yeah, they just drew 4 cards off of Inspiring Call. We didn't get one of those. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna block with Phantom Tiger for a second time. Ouch. Oh, we go to 1? Wild size. Yeah. Now what? Make it a 3/4? Dude, if I could play Illusory Ambusher when this doesn't have trample and draw 14 cards off of it, that would be hilarious. Of course, I would die because my library is too small. Yeah, I think we're dead. I think we are dead. Our opponent... Yeah, I don't want to show him I have Primeval Titan. Won't make a difference. My opponent, I think they have a better version of this deck than we do. Perhaps. I mean, they have Inspiring Call. We know that much. But, you know, I think we can do a little better. Do we just want like a dude with Death Touch to eat some of those big things? Maybe we do. And again, we probably cut Caryatid. He's not sexy, certainly, Greater Basilisk, but he can do some stuff. We've been getting both our Mind Stones. I think we've gotten them both in almost every game. Maybe every game. That seems too hyperbolic. Our mana has, for the most part, actually been pretty good. I mean, Illusory Ambusher has, for some reason, been the mana we've been missing. I mean, I guess it's because we only have 2, 3 lands that can get it for us, plus Primeval Titan. I guess that's a good reason. Whereas for white, we have a lot more sources. I would like to play first, please. Ooh, this is a solid hand. Especially on the play, we can get this Netcaster Spider down relatively early. We'll play our Golgari Rot Farm next turn. Corpsejack Menace would be great. Certainly. Okay. All right, yeah, we're just going to play a Rot Farm. End our turn. All right, he is a 2/2. Ooh. Hello. All right, so we're going to play Roshin Meanderer next turn and then play Ivy Elemental with Roshin Meanderer mana on turn 5 and then play Primeval Titan on turn 6. That seems like a pretty good series of plays to me. Interesting. I say, show me what you have. I'm guessing it's Wild Size, yeah. I feel okay about trading Wild Size for a Netcaster Spider. We're only going to take 1 from the trample. Hey, there's a Plains. Yeah, so we're just going to play Roshin Meanderer. Then Ivy Elemental. Ivy Elemental will be a 2, 3, 4. It'll be an 8/8. Not bad. Especially without Corpsejack Menace. They may not unleash it. They did unleash it. I am very happy they did. Because it being able to block would not be good news for us. Okay. We're just going to play huge Ivy Elemental. 8/8. And we will end our turn. Obviously, we can't really block Thrillkill Assassin. I mean, I'm happy he made it so it can't block because it could just trade with my Ivy Elemental with all the Death Touch going on over there. So, yeah. But next turn, I should probably be able to attack with both of these. This is my only X... No, we have a Genesis Hydra, too. Who hasn't shown up for us when it's mattered. Death Touch, okay. Well, at least they had a 2-for-1 themselves, you know? Especially since we have another big guy coming down. I feel pretty okay about being 2-for-1 there. As okay as one can feel about it, anyway. All right, we're going to attack with Roshin Meanderer. Drop them to 14. And then I'm going to play Primeval Titan. And I'm going to use its ability. Okay, opponent just scoops. Works for me. I guess they didn't have much going on in their hand. But yeah, we would have had all of the mana we wanted. Yeah, I don't think we change anything. Yeah, no. That Caryatid doesn't look any better than it did. The format's fun, man. Like, even if I go 1 and 2, the games have been ridiculous. And that's, again, I think I mentioned already, that's what you want from these formats. Like, the games are supposed to be ridiculous, and they really are. Kind of a slow hand, but I think I'm going to keep it. Just have to hope my opponent doesn't have a very fast start. Their deck doesn't seem to be incredibly fast, is the only good news. I'm probably just going to have to play this Nantuko Shaman on turn 3 is what's sad here, but play this Forest. Prime time is Pretty awesome. Timberlane Guide, okay. Well. All right. Now I don't have to play the Shaman. That's the good news here. I think we play the Rot Farm before the Sanctuary. And then we're going to discard one of these mini lands, one of these swamps, I think. Yeah. We're going to take 2, but then we can play Netcaster Spider and then Merrick Nightblade. You can also choose to suspend Antuco Shaman instead, which is probably what I'll do if I'm not feeling a lot of pressure, because drawing an extra card is obviously pretty great. And yeah, this isn't a ton of pressure. Our opponent isn't, you know, they just dropped us to 18 on turn 3, so we're not feeling a lot of pressure. There's their Rot Farm. Rakdos Drake. No, I think we play the guy who can block first, which is Netcaster Spider. Opponent may have Wild Size again. I think they probably do. Oh, they don't. Great. So since we're not being pressured, I think I do just suspend Antuco Shaman now. I mean, I could play Merrick Nightblade, but since our opponent is just not attacking us, I think we can afford to wait a turn, draw the extra card, and then just attack with the Shaman. And before you know it, we will be at Primeval Titan mana, so that's good news. What they're doing with 5 is a little scary, though. Just an Ivy Elemental. I mean, you know, it's big, but we can go bigger. We can't attack them now, unfortunately, with our Shaman, which is what I wanted to do. But what are you going to do? Okay. I think we play the Nightblade. And then Selesnya Sanctuary. And we bounce this. And yeah, then we just end our turn. We want to draw a Corpse Check Menace, just like I'm sure they're hoping they get theirs, but we can play Primeval Titan next turn. And we can play a huge Ivy Elemental off of all that mana. Spirit Monger, holy crap. That's that's not good. That is really not good. Well, that is a good answer to Primeval Titan. It can regenerate. Oh. I'm not happy. I'm sure our opponent's not happy we're playing Primeval Titan, but I think Spirit Monger is probably better and limited. So let's go Island. Boros Garrison? Sure. Spirit Monger. Playing Phantom Tiger, I guess, is one of the better ways I have of trying to counter it. Just because it can block it for a while, but it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We're just going to have to take 6 from it this turn. Swords to Plowshares is the one card in our deck that can bail us out. So thinning out our deck with Primeval Titan is pretty good. We have a 1 in 24 chance of drawing a card that can deal with Spirit Monger. If we don't draw that, I think we probably lose. That's how good Spirit Monger is. But we can definitely sort of trade off some big hits here. I mean, yeah, we're just taking 6 to the face. Phantom Tiger with Death Touch is actually pretty interesting because he'd have to regenerate it, but he has 3 black mana now, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, they did not. They want to kill my Primeval Titan, so they did not unleash that. Yeah. I can play a very large Ivy Elemental. Is it worth attacking with my Titan here? Getting some more lands. I can flash in the Ambusher to draw 6 cards, which isn't bad. But actually killing something is obviously more ideal. Freaking Death Touch. Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is play Mind Stone and crack it. Okay, now I think we just play Phantom Tiger. He'll have Death Touch. And Rakdos Drake. And we'll unleash it. Gives us a source of damage in the air. Alright, and then we end our turn. No Primeval Titan happening right now. God. Draw your 3 cards. You horrible person. So I can block this with Phantom Tiger a couple times. It'll get bigger and everything, but he'll have to regenerate it both times because the Tiger has Death Touch. So that's kind of nice. And we can just try to keep attacking in the air. We haven't even started attacking in the air. We can start attacking in the air, I should say. Yeah, so Phantom Tiger is going to get in there and cause some nonsense. Oh, he was passing. He messed that up. He was yielding. I think he forgot about Death Touch. I can't imagine why he would do that. I really can't imagine why he would do that. That works out for us. Wow. Okay. Well then, we're going to attack with Rakdos Drake. Do I use Outlast here? Probably doesn't hurt to. Yeah, we're going to Outlast him. So do I just play a big Ivy Elemental here? I think I probably do. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, it'll be an 8/8. Wish I had a random Fireball in this deck. So now we can feel a little better about attacking. Opponent probably has some sort of Corpse Jack Menace shenanigans they're going to pull right here, but they're playing a second one. They have both of theirs in play, so now what are you going to do? It's going to make me want to die, probably. Also, this has Death Touch, so multi-blocking it is kind of hilarious. Ooh. Interesting. So I think I'm going to Swords to Plowshares, Thrill-Kill Assassin here, and make this very difficult for our opponent. And I'm going to use this mana now to play Rakdos Drake number 2. And I'm going to attack with Ivy Elemental and Rakdos Drake. It's just going to take 10. Works for me. We have this Illusory Ambusher if things get crazy here. Could outlast him again. I think it's probably worth it, yeah. Because then he's big enough to withstand an attack from any of those things. That was, I'm sure opponents very annoyed that they, in combat, were just yielding because they could regenerate him. And that would have made this game a lot different. Okay, well that's going to put 4 counters on something, right? Is that math correct? Yes, it is. That is 4 counters. All right. Illusory Ambusher is kind of let me down, you know. So we're attacking with both of these. I think we're also attacking with this. If he wants to trade that for it, we're cool with that. Oh, that's not good. Now he can just kill my Ivy Elemental. Good news is he can't block the flyers. Yeah, might as well. So we drop them to 4. I mean 5. Yeah, I think we're just in the turn. Reeve Souling one of them, yeah. That does make sense. Come on, attack with something and let me use my Illusory Ambusher. Darn it. Okay. Well, that's actually pretty good because we can play the guide, put the counter on the Drake, and then our opponent's dead next turn. Unless they can find a way to stop the Drake. Right, they go down to 2. I've lost enough games to mistakes like Spiritmonger happening that having it go my way this time works out for me. Our deck was sweet. I mean, all the +1/+1 counter synergies we had. We went 2-1. Win percentage to begin is 66%. See if we can hold on to at least that. And I'll see you guys on Thursday for another Ixalan, not Ixalan, Iconic Masters draft.